All right, so exciting scrimmage, competitive Saturday. Thought there was a lot of really good stuff in there for us to teach off of, for our players to learn some situational stuff as well. And first defense did a really good job, forced a number of turnovers, and it was great to see them playing together at a high speed with so many new pieces there. And obviously whenever you have a scrimmage, if one side does well in an area, the other side isn't. So gave us some good stuff to work on, some good learning lessons offensively.
Questions? Microphone to the front there.
Lane, just speaking kind of the defense, what have you seen as far as, just the coming together on the back end and the secondary, trying some things out there, especially at corner?
Yeah, I think a number of guys hurt early on and missing time back there limited us. Some coming back now. For instance, Dante Core had a really good Saturday and did some good things coming back from an injury. So be good to continue to get people back. We're not all the way back, but a lot of moving pieces there and a lot of confidence in our coaches that, like we have in the years before, get them put together in the right spots.
He's one of a couple of freshmen, not just Dante, but Ladarian Clardy is a good example of this. Devin Harper and Connor Howes up front. Just who are some freshmen that have kind of done that? Made a good impression so far early on.
Well, you kind of answered the question there. Very, very Southern of you. So those would be it. The two linemen, like you said, have done a really good job coming in and playing early. So that's been good. And the class as a whole has a lot of talent, and we're just trying to get them in the right places, especially special teams, as we get closer to a game.
You mentioned the defense playing well. Was the offense, was it mistakes, or was it the defense playing well that kind of led to the offense, maybe with turnovers and whatnot? Yeah,
a combination of that. I thought the defense came out with really good energy, especially after the first drive, and did some really good things and made some really good plays, good pass rush that created some turnovers, good plays in the secondary. And, quarterbacks, like most scrimmages, some that they wish they could have back, and some things to learn from in those.
It's kind of a non-scrimmage question, but also Saturday, Jackson got his first taste. When you got done with that, did you watch any highlights or kind of thoughts on how he did?
Yeah, we pulled those up when we got done, and I talked to him last night, and so that was awesome to see. He's doing really well and played well, and he's really enjoying it. And he talked about his relationships with the other quarterbacks there. I shared that actually with our quarterbacks today about how a united room helping each other can be so beneficial. And it's great to see him play well. I say when we're in things here, I just really try to point them out, that I hope that we're appreciative around here when we're in them. And that reminds me, the quarterback play here, has been at a really high level. And, those guys getting picked in the first and third rounds. So, 71? So, since Archie went over 50 years, there's been 3 quarterbacks selected in the first 3 rounds. Obviously Eli, and then our fans have got to see the other 2 over the last 5 years. So, just hope we continue to have things like that we're in those type of runs here that we can all appreciate when we're in them.
I guess to that, Austin specifically, how did you feel he came out of that first scrimmage Saturday?
Yeah, made some critical errors and rebounded and played well later on. So that was, I look at in big picture, that's good for it to happen, because he really hadn't had many critical errors the entire camp. And so sometimes, it's a lot better to have him in the scrimmage in the game. So it's good to learn from.
Just based on the past years in your experience, is when scrimmages happen, the first scrimmage, is the defense or the offense, does one usually win? Is one usually ahead of the other at this time?
I think here lately the offense has usually been a little bit, because defense, I think Pete does a phenomenal job of looking at the big picture, the end result, not trying to win the drill. And that means moving guys in different spots, trying different things, so that we get the best unit out there by the time we get to the opening game. So I think a lot of times over time here it's been the offense. So that was good to see the defense. You know, it'd be great to obviously play defense like we did last year. I think somebody said that's one of the lowest average per carry given up, you know, in the last 5 years in the entire country. So, again, something that was pretty cool to watch, to be able to dominate in games defensively up front the way that we did a year ago. Especially coming from where we were just a few years before that, or especially when we got here.
Big question up top.
Lane, you guys lost a lot of people in the running back room. What have you seen out of that mid-fall camp so far that you've liked?
Well, Kiwan coming in has been electric, done some really good things, you know, and I think it's a very competitive group, a group that can run and catch and pass protect, and Logan Diggs has done a good job. So, and the newcomers filtering in there has made it really competitive and a lot to look at.
What were your thoughts on the O-line on Saturday?
A little bit up and down. You know, we didn't have a starting offensive lineman, and really, by the time it's done, maybe 2 starting offensive linemen weren't there. So it's always good for other guys to work around and see how they do. But you know, our first defensive line, you know, is really good and presents a lot of problems with the scheme that we play. So it's always a test for them.
How has Prince Will looked? I'm curious, especially compared to Princely's, just so obvious. But how are they? Are they different at all, or is it truly, just screaming around the edge like Princely?
They're a little bit different. He's had a really good camp. He was actually the defensive player of the game Saturday, so that's been great to see. Against not just the pass, but against the run too, and playing physical. So we're really excited about him.
A little up top.
Coach, plenty of preseason hype around Suntaran Perkins. What can you say about maybe the job that he's done, stepping up as another, big player in this defense, but even more this year with so many of those big stars leaving? What can you say about the job that he's done going into another camp here?
Yeah, he's had a great camp coming back from injury. Love the way that he, practices, prepares. Great for our young players to see. Actually had a pick 6 for a touchdown, interception return for a touchdown to start a 2-minute drill Saturday. And he's just really a great piece to be able to work with because he's so unique.
Anything else for Coach? All right.
All right, guys. Thanks.